Good evening and welcome to State of Business on ARC Television. I'm Tamir Nimsal. Let's have a look at the headlines. Google takes steps to empower South Asians in essential IT skills. UPI will empower SMEs to enter the digital sphere, Central Bank Director says. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that UPI will provide much-needed relief for merchants operating in Sri Lanka when dealing with India, providing a platform for strengthened connectivity. The President said this speaking at the virtual launch of the Unified Payments Interface through Lanka QR yesterday.
This shows our connections both economically and culturally. For thousands of years, payments have taken place between our two countries, and at that time, fortunately, there were no central banks. But in fact, our museums hold a number of coins, South Indian coins of over 1,000 years old, which have been found in different parts of villages or the dry zone, an indication that the South Indian trading corporations were very active even in the villages. So what we are doing today is only upgrading it technologically. You no longer have coins, you have Lanka QR and the NIPL together. And certainly as more and more Indian tourists visit Sri Lanka, this will be used in every village in our country. Furthermore, the transactions that go on between Sri Lanka and Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka and Mumbai of such scale that this certainly is of valuable use to us, especially to the merchants. We have about, I think, 400,000 who are now engaged in this. So I look at this as an important part of the developing further connectivity between our two countries.
Addressing the event virtually, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi said that the adoption of the UPI payment method, even the smallest vendors of the most rural part of India, is now accepting digital payments, enabling wider connectivity.
India's Unified Payments Interface, or UPI, is now taking on a new mantle, that of uniting partners with India. Friends, India's digital public infrastructure has brought about a revolutionary change. In the smallest of our villages, even the smallest vendors are making digital payments. And this is because it is not only convenient, but fast as well. Last year, a record 100 billion transactions took place through UPI. Their total value was 2 trillion rupees, or 8 trillion Sri Lankan rupees, or over 1 trillion Mauritian rupees. The Jam Trinity, that is bank accounts, Aadhaar cards, and mobile phones, have enabled us to ensure last mile delivery. Through this system, we have deposited so far 34 trillion crores rupees, that is over $400 billion directly in the bank accounts of beneficiaries.
The President's Media Division unveiled the introduction of UPI transaction, forging a link between India and Sri Lanka. A press conference pertaining to this was held at the President's Media Centre yesterday. The press briefing saw the presence of key stakeholders including Lanka Pay Chairman Dr. Kenneth De Silva, Lanka Pay CEO Channa De Silva, representative of Lanka QR Implementation Committee Randil Boteju, and FinTech representative Conrad Dias. Implemented jointly by NPCI International Payments Limited and Sri Lanka's Lanka Pay Private Limited, the initiative sets out to swiftly expand UPI payment systems across 10,000 stores, with plans to scale up to 65,000 stores nationwide by March 2024. Director of Payments and Settlements of the Central Bank, Vasantha Alvis, stressed that all banks and financial institutes registered with the Central Bank of Sri Lanka are mandated to issue them. This move promises to unlock opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises in Sri Lanka, leveraging the familiarity of Indian tourists with QR code payments. Transactions will be seamlessly credited in Sri Lankan rupees, with the recipients receiving instant notifications via text messages. Moreover, SMEs stand to gain access to bank loans after 6 months, bolstered by the revenue generated through these transactions. Looking forward, the initiative aims to reciprocate the ease of payments, enabling Sri Lankans to utilize QR codes for transactions in India. Stay tuned. We will return after this short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. Speaking at the press conference, Director of Payments and Settlements of the Central Bank, Vasant Alvis, said that with this development will enable even the smallest vendors who couldn't previously afford to accept card payments to now accept digital payments.
If you take a card payment, it is available mostly in the leading supermarkets and the shops where some amount can be spent on the digital payment. But when it comes to Lanka QR, any person can have a Lanka QR code. Basically, there is no much cost for the Lanka QR, this particular Lanka QR code. So even the supermarkets or the leading shopping malls or the small grocery shops or the people on the street who are selling vegetables, fruits like that can also use a Lanka QR code to accept payments digitally. So now we will turn. So what are the benefits of Lanka QR and UPI synergy or the UPI link? So if when we look at that, if you go to some other country, either you have to bring cash in US dollars, or you need to get a payment card and go. But after this implementation, when Indians comes to Sri Lanka, they don't need to bring cash. Instead of that, they can bring their UPI enabled payment app. And that payment app can be used at any merchant location and they can make the payment. So they don't need to worry about how much of US dollars that they need to bring to Sri Lanka or how much of Indian rupees that they need to bring to Sri Lanka, or what is the conversion rate where I can change this currency like that. They don't need to worry.
In a pivotal step towards fostering truth and reconciliation, the Interim Secretariat for the Truth and Reconciliation Mechanism convened a forum in Colombo on the 9th of February. The gathering brought together a diverse array of stakeholders, signaling a collective commitment to address grievances and promote healing in Sri Lanka. The forum focused on key aspects of the draft bill for a Commission for Truth, Unity and Reconciliation, which holds immense significance in addressing the legacy of conflict in the North and East regions. Stakeholders, including government officials, civil society representatives, and legal experts, engaged in robust discussions aimed at shaping the transitional justice process. During the proceedings, the ISTRM underscored its proactive approach, emphasizing ongoing consultations with victim groups, affected communities, and religious leaders. Central to the discourse was the imperative of adopting a victim-centric approach, ensuring that the voices of those affected by conflict are heard and respected. Participants also deliberated on sensitive issues such as national security, recourse management, and engagement with the Tamil diaspora, underscoring the complexity of Sri Lanka's reconciliation journey. Director General of the ISTRM, Dr. Asanga Gunawansa, led the discussion, reaffirming the Secretariat's unwavering commitment to fostering reconciliation and peace. Google's philanthropic arm, Google.org, has pledged $50 million to launch the APAC Cybersecurity Fund in partnership with the Asia Foundation, Cyber Peace Institute, and Global Cyber Alliance. The initiative aims to empower 300,000 entities by equipping them with essential cybersecurity skills and resources. The program will span 13 locations, including Bangladesh, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Pakistan, Philippines, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Vietnam. Asia Pacific has emerged as a hotspot for cybercrimes, with small businesses bearing the brunt of cyber incidents. Research indicates that over half of small businesses in the region have encountered cyber attacks, posing threats to operations and revenue streams. Through localized training opportunities and resources, the Asia Foundation seeks to bolster cyber resilience among small enterprises and other groups. The initiative will provide cyber clinics and upskilling activities tailored to the specific needs of each region. Google Org APAC-led Marija Ralik underscored the collaborative approach of the APAC Cybersecurity Fund, emphasizing its role in fostering cyber resilience at the grassroots level. In Sri Lanka, where cyber protection for digital services remains a concern, the program aims to reach 5,000 micro, small and medium enterprises impacting 10,000 individuals. Stay tuned for stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today.
The whole share price index dropped 26.74 points to close at 10,557.28, and the S&P SL20 dropped 9.76 points to close at 3,022.53. The turnover was 0.7 billion rupees and over 28 million shares were traded.
Up next are Forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.